Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing some geode coasters in this coaster mold that I got from micasandmore.com. These are a set that I did a few days ago, and this is another set, a purple and silver. I wanted to talk a little bit about the mold itself first. You need to take care of these. They're a little bit more delicate than other molds. To clean them, I just used some tape. Of course, I'm not going to be able to find the opening of the tape. I can't stand tape. And if there's glitter or anything on them, you can just pick it right up. You do not want to use a torch or heat with this mold at all. It will burn it. You do not need it. Mix your epoxy slow. There shouldn't be any kind of problems with bubbles. I was not gentle with my mold and I ripped it a little bit, but it didn't affect the outcome of my coaster. So today I'm going to be using these little pink diamond glitters that I got at afterdark.com. I'll put the link for that. I'm going to be using unicorn tears from Southern Glitter Goddess. It's like an iridescent glitter. I'm going to be using hibiscus pink from Island Micas and More. Ghost shrimp from Island Micas and More. This is an interference color, which means that it looks white with a pink sheen to it. But when you put it in a darker color, it pops, and that's how I got those streaks. And I'm also going to be using Lumiere Pearlescent Magenta, just a little bit of this. And some Gilding flakes. And I'll put the links to everything in the description box. Okay, so I had to pause the recording for a minute because my dogs were howling. Like, I thought something happened to one of them. I have a big white German Shepherd and a blue pit bull. And anyways, they were howling. I thought something happened. I ran out there and they saw an iguana. So they were like freaking out. So all is well. So anyways, the first thing I'm going to do is get some of these pink little diamonds. And I'm just going to drop them in the corner. And I mixed a whopping 10 ounces of resin for this. They take a lot of resin. That's the little pink diamonds you see in the corner. See if you can see that. Okay, and then I'm going to take my Gilding flakes. I am so sorry if you can hear the dogs barking. And this is the messiest stuff ever. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit in a cup. You really don't need a lot. Just 2 little pinches. These dogs are going to do this to me right now. It never fails. Okay, so I'm using KS resin. It's heat resistant up to 465 degrees. You can use coupon code Key West and get a % off of your first order. And like I said, I mixed 10 ounces. And while I was talking, I let it sit and the bubbles kind of rise to the top. So I'm just mixing it back up slowly. But if you wanted to, you can pop the bubbles in the top in the cup. But since it's in a plastic container, I'm not going to apply heat to it. So I'm just going to put a little bit into the Gilding flakes. What I like, when I make geodes, I like to keep them translucent as possible. So I'll only have one really dark color, which is the pink hibiscus, and then the Lumiere and the ghost shrimp will be really translucent. I was saying the pink hibiscus will be opaque, it'll be dark, and the ghost shrimp and the Lumiere will be really translucent. And then I'm going to use this in a bunch of clear because I want it to be as see-through, as translucent as possible. So I have my gold flakes and a little bit of resin, and I'm just gonna pour it on top of those diamonds. And it looks like you covered them up and you can't see them anymore. But remember, when you bring them out, that's the front. So you're going to be able to see them under there. All right. And I'm going to put just a tiny bit of unicorn tears. I do not want a lot. This is pink hibiscus. These are cool little containers with spoons that I sell in the store. My dogs are still going crazy. There's an iguana outside and they're on the porch and they're barking at it. This is ghost shrimp. And then this is the Lumiere. And I want that to be very translucent. So I just did like a tiny squirt. I might need to add a little more. Now when my big dogs are barking, then I have two little chihuahuas and they hear the big dogs barking and they're going to want to start barking. Okay. So I'm going to mix these up. And I definitely want just a tiny bit more. So this is Lumiere, and it's the Pearlescent Magenta. It's really pretty. Very see-through, very translucent, but it has a shine to it. This is the pink hibiscus. Maybe a little more. I put so much resin, filled the cup up. And that stuff's just chilling down there, it's fine. I normally don't mix over the mold, but I have to keep everything in the camera frame, so. This is gorgeous, pink hibiscus. And I just dropped a little bit of powder in there, so I'm just wiping it out. Put a little bit of alcohol. And that'll get the mica right off. A little bit. I keep a spray bottle of alcohol close by at all times. Okay. So this is the unicorn tears, and it's mostly just clear with a little bit of iridescent glitter in it. I'm gonna add a tad bit more, but if you add too much, it'll take over the whole. Like that is way too much. I'm gonna take some out. Okay. And then this is my ghost shrimp. And of course I need to add a little bit more because I filled the whole cup up. For those of you guys that have bought my micas before and are now upgrading to the little containers, you can peel the label right off the bag and stick it onto the container. Just so you guys know that. A few of you are upgrading. Okay, so Ghost Shrimp looks like a pearl white color that has a sheen of pink, but when you mix it with darker colors, then it pops. All right. So also you want to make sure that your space is level. Mine is never level, so that it doesn't drip forward. And I'm just going to use a little bit, whatever's left of the gold. All right. And then I'm going to come with my pink hibiscus. And I'm just going to go around. And then I'm going to come with my clear that has the glitter. If you don't care to get, you know, I have a garbage bag under here. You can keep going around like that if you don't mind getting some drips in between, and it's kind of messy. This is the Lumiere. None of this has bubbles. You do not need your torch for any reason at all. You do not want to burn these molds. This is the Ghost Shrimp. And then I'm going to come back with my hibiscus pink. And then this is my clear again. And it's okay if it's already touching the corners, just go right over it. It's just gonna go mix in and give it good color. That is a hair. Lumiere. My table is so uneven, you can see it, how it's not filling in there. And then I'm going to come back with my Ghost Shrimp again. Keep it to the edge. And now at this point, we're just trying to fill up the mold. And I don't want to use any more Ghost Shrimp because that's about enough. I have a little more resin in here. I'm going to fill up my Lumiere. I wish I would have used probably less Ghost Shrimp and had more Lumiere. Not use less in the mold, but have less in the cup, if that makes sense. Just put a little more in there. I don't know if you can see that. I just put a little more. And then I'm going to come over the back of that Ghost Shrimp, and it kind of like breaks it up. And then I'm going to come with my clear, stirring it up a little bit. right over the back. And like I said, we're kind of like just filling the mold up now and breaking these colors up. And they are almost full. I want to put a little bit of hibiscus pink back here, but I do not want to put a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my hand and I'm just going to do a little drizzle. I don't want to pour it straight out of the cup. Now, if some of you would, I like to just color the edges with, I sell also on Island Micas and More permanent paint marker, metallic. That's what I did with these. But if some of you want to get crazy with a Posca pen and draw lines on it, then you wouldn't fill your mold all the way up. You'd stop and leave it just enough to where you can draw your lines and then add more clear, if that makes sense. But I'm gonna stop now and I'm gonna let these dry overnight, and then we're gonna come back tomorrow and do the edges and see how they look. So I will see you guys in a bit, and I'm gonna give you an up close. I'm gonna turn the camera off, pull it down, and give you an up close view of what the back looks like. Okay, so here they are up close. Trying to get you a good view. You can see some color shift going on in there. All right, guys, I'll see you in the morning when they're dry. Hey, guys. So I am back. It is the next day, and they are dry. And I'm actually going to move this garbage bag that I have here. I just get garbage bags from the dollar store and use them underneath. But I'm going to move it because I have some sticky resin. I was super messy. So I'm just gonna not move the camera. Wow. Okay. So now my hands are a mess. Okay, so there's one. Two. And since I was so messy, the bottom of the mold is like super sticky. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to use a metallic permanent paint marker. And I'm just going to go along the edges It's not going to rub off. It's not going to go anywhere. It's permanent. I'm just making a really thin line on the top. The front, I also do the back. There's a little lip on this side. If you want to fill in the lip, it's about a ½ ounce of resin. You just gently pour it on top. I kind of like the lip because I feel like it catches the liquid if you're using it for a coaster. The gold accent makes it so pretty. And then I'm just going to color the sides. And I'm not going to sit here with all 4 of them and bore you by coloring them all. But at least let me do the top, so. It can be thicker and some spots thinner, however you want to do it. But the gold just makes it pop. It gives it that accent. I love it. This was the other side. If you want to thicken it up a bit. So the last set I did, it had that lip, and like I said, I like the lip, but just to test it for you guys, it's still wet. To see how much it took, it was about a ½ ounce of resin, and it filled in that lip. So if you guys wanted to, before you filled in the lip, take some Posca pens and maybe make some markings on it, you can do that, or just leave them plain. But they're super pretty. So that is how I make my geode coasters, geode mold coasters. You can use any color that you want, switch it up, purples, greens, use your imagination, put whatever you want in there. I hope you guys liked my video. If you have any questions, ask in the comments. I try to answer them as best as I can, and I try to keep up with them as much as I can. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.